Hello, ECC families. If you are a new or returning family, thank you so much for tuning in. In lieu of our traditional parent night meeting, this year we decided to create this informational video for you to watch or listen to at your convenience. This does not replace reading the handbook, which is more comprehensive, so please still read the handbook found online for additional policies and information. But we know it can be hard to get a babysitter and show up for a meeting that's less than an hour. So, our hope is that we can communicate a few important things before school begins to ensure a smooth start to our school year. If I haven't had the chance to meet your family yet, my name is Miss Lydia. I'm the director of Fielder ECC, and I have the honor of spending my days with your amazing kids and some of the best ladies around. Our teaching team is one of my favorite things about ECC. Our family has been a part of ECC since 2015 when my oldest, who is in junior high now, was starting kindergarten. Our family has sent all of our kiddos through and our foster children as well. And I'm thrilled to get to spend my days with my youngest in the picture here, Roman, as he is going to be in the 4-year-old class this year. We have a lot of new faces this year and returning families. So if I haven't had the chance to meet you yet, I look forward to doing that at Meet the Teacher. Tonight, we're just going to go over some of our basic safety rules and general policies, some traffic patterns, food and medication policies, and general helpful reminders to help us start our school year. Detailed policies and procedures can always be found in the digital parent handbook copy, and that can be located at fielder.org/ECC. This website is going to be our hub for all information. You can find our calendar there, special events that'll be happening, forms that you might need to print off, anything like that you can find right here at fielder.org/ECC. All right, if you are registered for this next school year, you have probably talked to one of these sweet ladies. I want to go ahead and introduce you to the office admin staff. I'm joined in the office by our assistant director and admin, Amy Bouillon. Amy has been here for years. Her girls attended ECC when they were younger. They are now grown adults, and we look forward to maybe getting to have a grandbaby up here pretty soon. This is Mr. Dennis and Miss Gina Blackstone in the middle. You see, Dennis, we will introduce in just a minute, but Miss Gina has also been here for years and years and has had her grown children also attend ECC. If you have recently submitted a medical form or had a question, you might have talked to our Forest team lead, who is also in the office with us. This is Miss Cooner. If you are a bumblebee, you'll be very familiar with her as she is up here on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday in the classroom, and Mondays and Fridays with us in the office. We're going to go over the ways that you can get a hold of us. Here's the office phone number. We would like for you to add this to your contacts. So, in case of an emergency or your child is sick and we need to get a hold of you quickly, we would like for you to add this to your contacts so it doesn't look like a spam number is calling you. This is something that we have dealt with in the past, so we would appreciate it if you or anybody that might be picking up your child or be an emergency contact for you, please save the office phone number listed here. Child Pilot is the fastest way to get in contact with us during the day. We're not always sitting down at our desks answering the phones, but we do have our phones with us at all times. And so we can get messages on Child Pilot. If you need a fast response, usually that is going to be the fastest way to get a hold of us. You are always welcome to use our office emails here. Those are listed below. If you need to send an updated medical form or you're having trouble doing that in the app, you can send that to one of the emails below there. You might get an email from Miss Cooner at this email address, so be sure to check your spam folder if you're expecting something from her. The office staff are always available to you through admin messaging in Child Pilot. You have the option to message all staff and admin or just admin. So if you're having a concern with a teacher or you would like clarification on something or to address something privately, you are always welcome to send a message that is through admin only, and only the office staff will see that message. We ask that you please respect our teachers' time outside of work hours, and please not text the teachers on their personal numbers. If you have a question, we ask that all communication please go through the Child Pilot app. You're always welcome to ask questions, request a picture, get an update throughout the day, and the best way to do that is going to be through Child Pilot. Teachers will reply through that app as they are able throughout the day. They are supervising children, so when they have an opportunity to step away from the classroom, they will respond to you as quickly as possible. If you need an immediate answer or there's something very important to communicate, you are welcome to call the office. All right. If you are seeing this, then you are already in your Child Pilot app. This is what we are going to use for all main communication. We ask that you please have an emergency contact other than parents listed that is required. So if you are mom and dad, we ask that you have grandma or an aunt or a neighbor or somebody that you are comfortable picking your child up in addition to both sets of parents here. We ask that family will add the school number to their contacts as well. Like we said, if grandma or somebody is listed, we ask that they have this number saved so we can get a hold of people quickly when needed. You can add as many people as you want to your approved pickup list. So if you have a bunch of family members and you just want to be on the safe side, feel free to add as many as you want. You can add and change those as needed in your app. Something that we have found very helpful is when family adds a picture of child or people who are going to be picking up on a regular basis. This is also helpful if grandma's coming to pick up and maybe she hasn't before and you've recently added her. This is just another layer of safety that we really appreciate as we have several hundred children coming in and out every day. It's really nice for us to be able to have that extra safety verification there. Your tax statements are available at any time through your billing tab in Child Pilot. As long as you've been enrolled, you will have records of those. If you need additional information that you are not able to access, please feel free to reach out to us in the office and we will do our best to get that information for you. Right. We want to be helpful to you in whatever capacity we can. So if you have questions or concerns about typical development, if you're a first time parent or maybe you're just experiencing something new and you're not sure if it's typical development or maybe something else going on, we do not diagnose, but we are happy to refer out if you think you might want to explore occupational therapy or speech therapy or something of that nature. We can help you apply for ECI services if your child is under the age of 3, and we can also help you apply for services through the school district. So if there's something that you have questions about or concerns about, the office is always happy to walk you through options for next steps and maybe seeking out some assistance in that area. We have a comprehensive library for parenting resources, children's books, Bibles, and topics on specific literature. So, if you would like help, maybe navigating grief with your family, and you would like a child appropriate book that talks about grief, or if you have any financial or family situations that you would like additional resources on, we are happy to connect you with the resources through Fielder Church. We want to serve your family however we can. So, if there's a way that maybe you need some support or assistance, we would love to help you with that. All right, if you've taken a tour with us, then you'll know that we are a licensed facility. So we are a licensed preschool. We are not a daycare. We function like a preschool. So we are required to follow state mandated minimum standards. Those minimum standards cover building safety, how we hire and train our staff, our daily routines, our cleaning, emergency plans, how we serve food, how the grounds are taken care of. Everything that we do is informed by minimum standards. If you have any questions about a minimum standard or you have a question about why we have a specific policy, we would love to walk you through why we do things the way that we do. If a standard changes during the school year, you will be notified, and a signature might be required acknowledging that you were notified about that. Usually, what will happen is I'll send out a Microsoft form requesting a signature from you. I will let you know in Child Pilot if that's the case. Because minimum standards require us to notify you, they also require us to record that we have notified you. So if we send that out, we ask that you please sign that form and then send it back to us as quickly as possible. Everything that we do is going to be through the lens of safety first. All of our standards that we follow, all of our policies and procedures are all with safety in mind. And so we ask that you please make yourself familiar with all of our policies and procedures in the handbook. You can find that again at fielder.org/ECC. Speaking of safety, this is Mr. Dennis. He has been a crossing guard for us for years and years. You will see him at special events helping us with t-shirts and different activities inside the building as well. But Mr. Dennis is dedicated to keeping your kiddo safe in the parking lot. We do share the north parking lot with the Newman International Academy, and so they have staff and parents that will be coming through that parking lot as well. We ask that you please drive slowly in the north parking lot and follow Mr. Dennis's cones as he is set up for you to help our drop off and pick up go as smoothly as possible. All right, we have a lot of kids coming in the morning. Morning drop off is a very busy time. We ask that you please move slowly through the parking lot. These are some reminders as we go through. If you are a returning family, you'll be familiar with some of these. If you are new, your teachers will talk in more in depth about this at Meet the Teacher. But you'll be given a traffic map at Meet the Teacher that'll let you know which line that you're supposed to use for both drop off and pickup. Your teachers can help clarify any questions that you have regarding that in person. We ask that you please use the car tags that will be given to you. This will have your child's name and their class on it. We ask that you please not get comfortable during the school year and not put these up because we do have subs and different teachers who will be loading and unloading. And again, this is just another way to help us keep that line moving smoothly and also another safety precaution for us. Kinder drop off starts at 8:30 a.m. and then it shares the twos and threes drop off line. So if you are a two or a three, we ask that you please not line up before 8:45 a.m. as our kinder families will need to be getting their students dropped off. As always, no cell phone use in the line. This is really important for us. We want everybody to be focused on who they're getting in and out of line and in and out of the cars. We don't want anyone to be distracted during this time as everyone is in really close proximity to a lot of vehicles. This year, we really want to focus on kids staying seated in the car. I know last year we had some friends that like to poke their head out a sunroof or a window and wave to their friends behind them. But this really is a huge safety and liability issue for us. So, parents, we're going to remind you if a child is poking their head out the window that your child does need to be seated and they need to be staying buckled until a teacher is unloading them. Thank you for helping us with this. Parents, you will unload from the driver's side. Our teachers will not walk between cars and go to the passenger side of the vehicle. We try to minimize children walking between cars and teachers walking between cars. So if you are able to move a car seat to the driver's side, we ask that you do that as it is best practice for us to keep everybody safe. Please do not release a child until a teacher signals that they are ready for you. Sometimes a teacher needs two hands on one child, and we ask that you let the teachers use their discretion with that and that you not hand a child off to somebody before a teacher has reached out to you to let them know that they are ready to take your child. If you have more than one child unloading, if you have a 4-year old and a 2-year old, your 4-year old and 2-year old will load on the youngest side. So they will load and unload from the twos drop off line. You can again ask for any help regarding which line you need to be in when you're at Meet the Teacher. Our teachers are happy to help make sure that you know where you're going to go. If you are unable to get to your class drop off on time, late arrivals, you will walk up to the office at 9:15 or later. So from 8:45 to 9:15 we unload, and at 9:15 our teachers go in to start the day in their classroom. So we ask that any children brought up at that point be brought straight to the office doors that are parallel to Fielder. We know that this is a first time for many of our twos, and it's a first time for our parents as well. So it's okay to cry at drop off. Our teachers are prepared for this. It is to be expected with a lot of our first time kiddos and our first time moms and dads. So please don't worry if your child cries. We don't want you to go to work or go home and wonder if they're okay. So feel free to ask for an update. We are more than happy to go check on your child and send a picture. Usually within 5 to 10 minutes, a teacher will send you a picture if your child was crying at drop off to show, hey, they've engaged in table activities and they're happy and smiling now. But we don't want that to be something that sits in the back of your mind or something that you worry about. So please feel free to reach out. We are more than happy to check on your child for you. Because all of our drop offs and pickups happen in the car line, there's not a lot of time for teacher conversations. So if you have questions or concerns, or you would just like more in depth details about what's going on in your child's classroom, you are always welcome to schedule a conference with your child's teacher. You can do that on the phone or in person. We ask that you please keep conversations at the car brief. We do need to move the lines along quickly because we can back up into Fielder if we do not do that. So we ask that you please just be mindful of your car conversations. If you would like to schedule a time for a phone call or to meet your teacher, you can do that through Child Pilot or through us in the office, and we'll help facilitate that. We know sometimes it can be frustrating if you're running late to be stuck in car line, but we ask that you please be patient and kind. We ask that you drive slowly and don't cut in line or quickly around out of line because we do have children that will unload from both sides of the vehicle if there are several car seats. Please let us know if your morning was rough. If you've had a hard time with your little one this morning and maybe they're just off, we ask that you please communicate that with the teachers. If a little extra love is required, it's always helpful for the teacher to know that ahead of time and to know that maybe their behavior is different because they need a little extra connection to start the day. Okay, moving on to afternoon pickup. All of the rules still apply. We ask that you please move slowly, stay off of your cell phone. All of the morning drop-off rules still apply. Our pickup line in the afternoon starts at 2 p.m. unless you've made other arrangements with a teacher or staff. If you'd like to come early, we will usually have you pick up from the ECC office line from the 2s and 3s side that runs parallel to Fielder. If your child is a 2 and you have an appointment, we ask that you try to schedule that either before or after nap time and not right in the middle, as it just helps to keep all the other children asleep. So we ask that you please be mindful of your pickup times when it comes to nap time. Please continue to use car tags in the afternoon and make sure you have car seats in the vehicle. We do have security officers who are on campus, and they like to make sure that we have children being buckled into car seats. You will buckle your child, your teacher will release your child to you, and then you are responsible for safely buckling your child. If you have more than one child, we have a lot of twins last year, and going into this year, we'll have more twins. So if you need a little extra time, you're welcome to pull up and off to the left in the chapel parking lot and spend time maybe getting leftover lunch out to prepare for a longer trip and things of that nature. But we ask if you're going to have a few things that you need to do that you move to the side of the line before you block traffic for everybody. All right, our pickup is from 2 to 2:30. 2:30 is when children are taken from classrooms and down to the office, and a late form will be filled out and parents will sign their children out from admin care. Late fees do start at 2:35. Teachers are off duty, so we ask that you please be on time as the teachers and admin have children to get from other schools as well. If you know you're going to be late, we ask that you message in Child Pilot because the staff will be outside and unable to answer the phone during pickup. You can reference the handbook for more information about late pickup. All right, when you're not just dropping off in the pickup line and you need to enter the building, I'm going to give you a visual reference. We will talk about the atrium or around the playscape area. And if you have never been in the building before, back in this corner here under the covering is the main entrance for Fielder ECC. So this is where we have our doorbell and our camera, where if you're not doing a quick drop off, like maybe you forgot a lunch or a water bottle or something like that, any quick little drop offs can be done outside the ECC office doors. But this is the main entry into the building, where if you need to come in for an extended period of time, you will come in through this area. You will park in the north parking lot, and then you will walk up to these doors. When you get to those doors, you can push the button on the intercom and let the office know you were there. We'll be able to see you. Sometimes we're on a call and we might not be able to talk to you, but if you'll listen, we might buzz you in if we know who you are, and you can walk down to the office where we will give you your guest tag. All visitors must wear a guest sticker and stay in ECC designated areas. This is really important as we have another school on campus. Please do not wander the halls. Security will be walking around to make sure that everybody is staying in their designated areas. So if they ask you to move back to a designated space, we ask that you please comply quickly. This kind of goes against your natural instinct to hold the door for people, but we ask that you do not let groups of people who are not with your family in behind you. Each person or family unit needs to be identified before they are given entry. This is a requirement for both schools. For high traffic events where we have a lot of people coming in the building, like parties or the Christmas program, Miss Gina or another admin will be stationed at the door with guest tags, and you will not have to worry about that. This is more if you have a class party and you see a friend coming behind you down the sidewalk. We ask that you go ahead and make your entry and close the door and let that person be buzzed in separately. On party days, the ECC staff will be throughout the building, so the ECC office doors are not an entry point on event or party days. They will not be there, so you might be standing there ringing the doorbell, but nobody's going to hear you. We ask anytime you come into the building for an extended period of time that you please use those front doors. All right, we are blessed with an awesome indoor playground and several outdoor play spaces. So, we're going to go over some playground safety. We have asked that this year nobody wears Crocs. We have had several head injuries due to simply children tripping on their toes with the Crocs. They stick to the carpet, they stick to the turf outside. We know it's really easy for them to put on themselves and be independent, but we ask that because we have mulch outside and industrial carpeting inside, you please refrain from sending your child in Crocs. The same goes for rain boots. We've just had a lot of tripping and it's causing unnecessary injuries. So we ask that you send closed toed shoes. Tennis shoes are best. If you want to send sandals, again, make sure that they're not going to be a tripping hazard. And remember that we do play outside every day and there is mulch on the outdoor playground. So your child might not be comfortable picking mulch out from their sandals. When your child is playing indoor on our large playscape, they must wear a clean pair of socks. You can feel free to keep a pair of socks in the backpack just for this situation. We do have a few extra pairs up here, but we ask that you just keep a clean pair of socks in your backpack at all times. As the weather gets cooler, and I know that seems like it's a long way away, we ask that you keep a jacket that stays in your child's backpack. We do go outside every day, so make sure as the weather changes that you are updating their outerwear for that. Moving on to our medical policies, you can find more detailed information about this in the handbook, but just a couple reminders. All medications, and that does include topical creams like Desitin or hydrocortisone, need a signed medical form from the office. You can also print that off from our website and bring it with you with the medication. All medications will be kept in the office and locked. Teachers do not apply those medications. If you're sending a medication, we ask that you message the teacher and the admin and let them know that there is a medication in your backpack so that we can check that the form is filled out correctly before administering that medication. Please do not send gummy vitamins or any kind of supplements in lunches, as we are not allowed to keep those in the classrooms. All medication will be kept locked in the office with the exception of an EpiPen. If your child has an EpiPen, we will be in contact with you about specifics for that child. With our allergies, we ask that there be no latex balloons or nuts at parties. If your room is a nut free room, your teacher will let you know at Meet the Teacher. If you have updated your shot records, you can get a copy of those and submit those online to your Child Pilot portal. If you're having issues with that, again, you can email any changes to the office and we can update that file for you. Any child sent home with a fever must remain at home for 48 hours and be fever free without the use of medication before returning. Children sent home for vomiting or diarrhea must be symptom free for 24 hours. For our full sickness policy, please refer back to the handbook. Any communicable diseases, we still need to report to the health department. We do let parents know if there has been exposure in a classroom. Obviously, names are kept confidential, but we do let people know so that if their child starts to come down with a fever or says they're not feeling well, they know that there has been an exposure in that classroom. So please, even if we're on a break or we're over the weekend, you find out somebody's sick, would you please just keep us informed? Thank you. All right. Some of our emergency policies here, this real quickly. The school completes regularly scheduled fire and weather drills as well as lockdown drills. For this reason, we ask that your child wear shoes at all times. So this is a great thing for your child to practice now. If they don't like to wear shoes, we like for teachers to not have to struggle to get shoes on a child if they're trying to evacuate the building quickly. So, again, this is just a safety precaution, and we ask that your child be comfortable with wearing shoes and know how to keep them on. That helps us a lot in the event of practicing an evacuation. All right, living in Tornado Alley, you guys know storms can get a little crazy around here. So, in the event of a real weather or other emergency, parents will be notified once all of the children are in their appropriate shelter location. So, every hallway in the building has a different shelter in place location. So, wherever we are in the building, we are close to an appropriate shelter space. So, if you maybe work in Mansfield and Arlington is going under a tornado watch or warning, we ask that you please please not call the center and message us a bunch during the weather emergency. We will message you when we have sheltered and when we have released. So if there's anything that we're doing out of our normal schedule, we will let you know right away. Usually that will happen just on Child Pilot. We'll send a message. If something is very urgent, we might send out a text message as well. But we ask that you please not call, as Amy and I will be making sure that we have everybody accounted for and in the places that they need to be. And that helps us get information out to you faster when we're not receiving a lot of phone calls in that process. If the security team sends us into a shelter in place, wanted to let you know that all loading and unloading will stop and the building will lock down during that shelter in place. So if you're arriving late and we have already sheltered, just know that our doors will be locked and we will not be allowing entry into the building, as everyone will be in their shelter location. So please check your messages if weather is bad, so you can stay informed on what's going on, and you will know if you are ready to be unloaded again. In the event that we have maybe a pipe break or something like that and children need to be evacuated from the building, our evacuation location is going to be the Fielder Administration Building. That address is 1333 West Pioneer Parkway, and that building is located on the far east side of our main parking lot. Make sure that you bring your correct car tag and identification in the event that we have relocated and will be picking up from an evacuation location. All right, as you're getting ready for back to school shopping, here's what you need to bring. We keep things really simple. We ask that you please send a full-sized backpack. We know sometimes they look crazy on our small little 2-year-olds, but just remember that they must fit a full-size folder that their artwork will be coming home with and other parent communications, a full change of clothing, any diapers, wipes, a lunchbox, water bottle, nap mat, a levy, etc. So when your child is coming in the morning, the more that we can have inside of the backpack, the better. It makes it easier for teachers to have their hands available to make sure your child gets into the building and into their classroom safely, especially if they're having a hard time coming in. So just remember, those little backpacks are really cute, but they're not practical for us at this time. So we ask that every child please have that full-size backpack. Nap mats for 2 and 3-year-olds. Please label everything. We ask that you not bring toys from home, as toys have to be approved for the appropriate age ranges of the classrooms. And so the only exception to this is a small levy that can be held during nap time. Your child is welcome to bring something that they can hold in their hands and that will comfort them during their nap time. Our 4-year-olds don't take an official nap time. They have a rest time where they will read or be read to. So they can bring a beach towel that will stay in their cubby for their rest time. Remember, we need a full change of clothes, including socks and underwear. If we have a potty training child, you might want more than one pair, especially if you're a 2-year-old. So feel free to add a couple additional changes. Make sure that they're seasonally appropriate and that as your child is growing, you are keeping track of what size the clothing is in those backpacks. Please keep a jacket in the backpack when the weather changes and a spill-proof water bottle. A reminder, we are not allowed to have glass, and the child needs to be able to operate the water bottle independently. So make sure they can open and close the water bottle as needed. Those are available to them all day throughout the day and will be refilled as needed. With our packed lunches, anything that needs to be kept cold needs to be sent with a cold pack. There are not refrigerators in the classrooms, and this is a licensing requirement and something that the health department will check. So if you're sending meat or dairy, make sure that you're sending a cold pack that's appropriate for your lunch as well. We ask that you please not send pizza Lunchables or things with a bunch of shredded cheese, Go-Gurts, red or carbonated beverages. A lot of times more of those things end up in the carpet than they do in little mouths. So we ask that you help us with this. All fruit, especially grapes, need to be cut vertically. Hot dogs are not allowed unless cut vertically and then again. This is one of our biggest choking hazards. So we ask that if you're going to send something that is nickel size, that you make sure you are chopping it appropriately. And please, no popcorn. A reminder that lunch is right before nap time, and a healthy lunch will help us have a smooth nap time. All right, for our discipline policies and procedures, you can refer to our handbook for the more complete policy there. But there's a lot of learning happening at this age. Everyone will need redirection at some point. There's a lot of first time experiences happening here. And we want to make sure that we are loving your children well as they are learning how to navigate new social and emotional situations. Any non urgent, age appropriate incidences that happen will get a message from the teacher on Child Pilot, or the teacher might have a conversation at the car with you. If something is more serious or more discretion is needed, a teacher might make a phone call to you during the day to make you aware of an incident and let you know what will happen going forward. If we notice a pattern emerging, maybe we have someone who's starting to bite or be frustrated or hitting, or something maybe out of the ordinary is happening with a child, a teacher will write a parent notification slip. If you're a previous family, and this is something that's new this year, this is a form that we've designed to keep all parties informed and on the same page. Sometimes you might be talking with a teacher and addressing something, and I'm not aware of it. So, this is just a way to make sure that all parties involved are on the same page and aware of what's happening in the classroom. A teacher will write down whatever the incident was, whatever has happened as a result of that, something maybe that they've tried for redirection, and then they'll let you know if any next steps, like a face to face meeting or office discipline, are going to be required. So, this is something that the teacher will fill out, and then if all goes smoothly, they'll just bring it out to you at the car at the end of the day and have you sign it to make sure that you are aware of the situation. We know our little people thrive on routines and schedules. So, if you're experiencing a significant life change, maybe you've moved, had job changes that have changed your home hours, your living situation, or people living in the home has changed, please communicate that with us. Sometimes it helps us know if behaviors that we're seeing in the classroom are related to situations happening outside of the classroom. And so, extra grace can be shown to that child, and maybe extra attention or connection is needed during those transition times. So please feel free to communicate if there's something going on that you think might be affecting your child outside of the home as well. Again, safety is our first priority, and ECC will take actions to keep all parties safe and reserves the right to terminate enrollment at any time. Termination of enrollment is a last case scenario, and the full procedure and policy for that can be found in the handbook. But that is something that we don't ever want to come as a surprise to you. So, if we have to move towards that, that is something that we will have had previous conversations regarding. So, that will not come as a surprise to you. Social and emotional skills are learned, and we want to do our best to lead your children well in these areas. All of our kids here are going to have to learn some new social and emotional skills, and we want to make sure that our teachers are prepared for that, and that is something that we address in our training, in our pre service, in our in service, and additionally as needed. Again, if you feel like there's something that you need more support on as a parent, or would like more information on, maybe there's a behavior that you're facing that has become a challenge that you don't feel equipped to handle, please reach out, as we would like to help make our resources available to you. All right. Our day ends officially at 2:30, but if you need to buy a little bit more time before maybe you have an additional school pickup, we do have a couple of after-school programs that meet in our building. We have a TOTS class and a dance class. Those classes will pick children up from their classrooms at about 2:15, and they will release directly to you in a car line at about 3:05. Those vendors are not employed by Feeler Early Childhood Center. Those are separate companies that come in and use our space. So care is transferred to those after school programs from 2:30 on. If you are going to be late to a program, any of that information needs to be communicated directly to the director of that program. Children are checked out of Child Pilot when the after school program takes them to their class. If you have questions about that or would like more information on that, you will be able to meet those vendors at Meet the Teacher. All right, next, we love to party. We are always willing and ready to celebrate big and little occasions. Some of our favorite celebrations are birthdays. We will celebrate with a special treat. You are welcome to send small store bought treats like Rice Krispie treats, miniature cupcakes, small donuts, the mini muffins, cookies, things of that nature. We ask that you please not send full size cupcakes with icing, as again, the icing usually gets in the carpet before it gets into their mouth. So we ask that you please refrain from sheet cakes and large icing cupcakes. You're welcome to send birthday napkins, plates, or little decorations. Your classroom will celebrate your child's birthday at their snack time. Children will get a birthday crown from their teachers, and the class will sing their happy birthday song to them as close to their real birthday as possible. If your child has a summer birthday, your teacher will reach out and arrange when you would like to celebrate that birthday. With you. Parents do not come in for our birthday parties, but they are welcome to come into our class parties. Your teacher will reach out to you or a parent coordinator and let you know what to bring and how they would like you to participate in that party. Aside from our class parties and seasonal celebrations, we will also have a mom's monthly coffee where you can come in after drop off and sit with some other moms, drink a cup of coffee that our sweet Miss Amy will prepare, and just have a time where you are free to talk and plan play dates, get to know some other moms and kids in your children's class. You are welcome to bring babies with you if you have little ones at home. That is just an open room for you to sit together and get to know each other better. In October, we have our trunk or treat, and in December, we will have a Christmas program. In the spring, we have just started to have our family picnic, which was a hit this last year, and we look forward to celebrating just a time to come together as families again in the spring before we get some crazy weather. This year, we're going to have an open house and art night where our kids will get to show off some of their favorite projects. So, we're excited to have you come in and get to see a little bit more of the things that our teachers are working on with your kids. All right, like we said before, this is in no way a comprehensive overview of everything, but this is just kind of the Cliff Notes version of the important things. So if you have additional questions, remember you're always welcome to reach out on Child Pilot for quick response times, but you're also welcome to call the office or email us. Our office is open and available throughout the year, but we do have different hours over holidays and in the summer. There's some remodeling happening right now, so Amy and I are out of the office more than we are in the office. So again, if you're calling and trying to get a hold of us, we might not see that, but reach out on Child Pilot and we will get back to you as quickly as possible. Thank you so much for tuning in and helping us make sure we start our year strong. Again, you can find more information at fielder.org/ECC. You can find the handbook, you can find medication forms, or any other information that you might need. Our school calendar is listed there as well. So, again, thank you so much for joining us, and we can't wait to see you at Meet the Teacher.